SAT quiz number 14. 5 questions, step by step. Question 1. Anne and Betty are botanists studying the production of pears by 2 types of pear trees. Anne grows type A pear trees, which produce 15% more pears than Betty's type B trees did. Based on Anne's results, if the type A trees produced 161 pears, how many pears did the type B trees produce? We can set up a quick organizational table, putting the information for Anne in column 1 and Betty in column 2. Anne makes type A trees that produce pears that are 15% more than Betty. So in Betty's column, we'll place the unknown amount N. And for Anne, it would be N plus 15% is our note. Also in the paragraph, we're told that Anne made 161 pears with her pear trees, but Betty, we don't know that amount. So we set up the equation N plus 15% of N for that extra 15% equals 161 pears. Well, 1N plus 0.15N is 1.15N equals 161, and N equals 161 divided by 1.15. So N is 140, and the correct answer was C, 140. Question 2. If we know that 8 to the x power is 4, what's the value of x? Well, here we use that lesson from logarithms as well, the change of base. Here we'll change the base from 8 to 2 and from 4 to 2 for each exponent. Then we'll rewrite the equation as 2 to the third power raised to the x equals 2 squared. Now that the exponents have the same base, we can use the power to a power rule, and the left side is 2 to the 3x equals 2 squared. Since the bases are the same, they're both 2, the exponents above must also be equal. So we write the equation 3x equals 2, and dividing by 3, x equals 2/3. The correct answer was B. For question 3, for the system of equations below, what is 10x plus 10y? Here we're given the system of equations 3x plus 2y equals 23, and 2x plus 3y equals 22. On standardized tests such as the SAT, remember that there is a shortcut, often if you add or subtract the system of equations. Here we can add the 2 rows together to get the new sum, 5x plus 5y equals 45. We did a few examples like this in class. For example, orders at a restaurant or at a skateboard shop or bicycle shop. If you combine the order number 1 with order number 2, you get 5x plus 5y equals 45. And then doubling that equation, 10x plus 10y equals 90, and the correct answer was A, 90. Question 4. The equation below expresses the appropriate height h in meters of a signal flare t seconds after it was launched vertically upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 40 meters per second. To the nearest tenth of a second, when will the signal flare hit the ground? Well, for this question, we're given the equation h equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 40t. Since it's a parabola, we have 3 basic strategies to solve this. We could use the quadratic formula. We could use the axis of symmetry and find the vertex, which would be the half time for this symmetric launch, or we could factor the equation. Here, I thought it was easiest if we factored the equation, so I left factored negative t. Then we have 2 factors, negative t times 4.9 t minus 40. Then solving for each 0 factor, we have negative t equals 0. So at t equals 0, it was launched from ground level. And then solving 4.9 t minus 40 equals 0, add 40 to both sides and divide by 4.9. And we get that the flare will land back on the ground after 8.16 seconds. The correct answer was D, 8.2 seconds. to the nearest 10 to the second. For question number 5, a civil engineer wants to build a bridge at a local summer camp of length x in feet across the lake as represented by the sketch below. However, the lengths represented by AB, EB, BD, and CD in the sketch are determined to be 1,800 feet, 1,400 feet, 700 feet, and 800 feet, respectively. Segments AC and DE intersect at B, and AE is parallel to CD. What is the measure of X across the lake? Well, that yellow drawing there, it represents the lake space. And since we can't walk across the lake or walk on water, and it's really too far to throw a rope across or shoot an arrow with the string across, what we do is we do some measurements on the land nearby the lake, and they're listed in the paragraph. So for example, if we had a shorter rope and we could measure it off in segments, we'd see that from A to B is 1,800 feet. And then if you take a rope and tie it at E and then measure on land and then move that rope along to B, you can see that it's 1,400 feet. And then from B to D is 700 feet and C to D is 800 feet. So I've labeled them in the diagrams. The other thing that's noted is that the construction team made sure that AE was parallel to CD. So those are the two white parallels drawn on the right. And then I've drawn them as two transversal chords. We can see A to C, even though we don't know its full length. And we can also see E to D, which we know is 1,400 plus 700 units. All right, the thing that we've done with this construction, because we use parallel lines, is we've created similar triangles. And you know this from alternate interior angles. So we know that the red angle is the same as the red angle because vertical angles are equal. We also know the green angles are the same because they're alternate interior to the top parallel, going from upper left to lower right. And then for the second green line, the blue angles are also alternate interior and equal. So the triangle on the left, AB, E is similar to triangle CBD. All three angles inside are the same. So we can set up the proportion for the corresponding sides. So here, since the triangles are similar, the green sides are in the numerator because we have the measurements of the green sides, 1,400 and 700 are opposite the green angles. And then for the denominator, I use the sides X, which is the distance across the lake for the bridge, and the parallel CD, which is 800 feet. Setting up the proportion, the triangle on the left is twice the size of the triangle on the right. We know this because of the comparison of 1,400s to 700s. Therefore, the red distance across the lake must be double the distance CD, which is 1,600 feet. The correct answer was X. The distance of the bridge across a lake will be 1,600 feet. I hope this video was useful to you in your preparation for your upcoming SAT exam. Thanks for watching my video.